Hey folks, it's Bishopheals from the ECF forums and host on VAPE TV, baby. I'm here today because we got to talk about this nut. I got the nut right here. Forget about it for the Ithaka. Let me tell you, I started mounting it on two of my Ithakas. I still got it mounted on one more, which I'm going to do here live, that's for sure. But I got to give you a couple of first impressions. Using this little nut, who would have freaking knew? It works 200, 500, 1,000, 1 billion, gazillion times freaking better, I tell you. Much, much better. I mean, I never thought it would improve performance, but damn it, that it did, because I don't hear no bubbles anymore at all. I don't need to shake it anymore. And as you can hear, I can fire a freaking egg, that's for sure. This thing is hitting so freaking beautiful. This is my third tank full. Third, nothing, no problems. So, I did a video earlier as far as adding an O-ring, which helps. It did do the job. It did help. However, using this nut, removing that big nut that's in there, it's like night and day of a difference. Now, a lot of people weren't aware of this nut. No one was, I mean, hey, first of all, I wasn't aware. All right, until one of the members from the board said, well, we don't have that problem with the new nut. And I'm like, what nut? I'm busy going around doing coils, making coils for people. I didn't email didn't send me a private message or anything. So I did notice he did listed it up in the forums and stuff, but I just didn't have time to check the forums that often. I had to empty out my inbox twice. All right. I mean, even email himself put down a message, Bish, empty your inbox. So I do get blasted with a lot of mail, and I try to catch up. I do the best that I can to catch up on the mail. If I would have had it clean out, I would have probably gotten that message. So my humble apologies for that. But on this, as far as on the nut, I wanted to show you how to mount it on, because I did get some mail that I was reading that people were having some trouble, and also that they weren't aware of this nut. So I spent today and yesterday forwarding a lot of mail, going to, hey, you could go and get it from Clouds of Vapor as well as from Vassilis, all right, from the Greek seller, all right. They have the nuts, okay, the nuts, all right. I'm not talking about your garagole, all right. I'm talking about the nuts, okay. Forget about it. So I'm going to show you how to put it on, because I noticed that Bruce mentioned he didn't put his on. He said he had a little bit of a difficulty of putting it on. Well, I'm going to show you guys how to put it on, and it's not that much of an issue. So let me move my cam down and show you how to do it, because it's quite simple. Let me just get the focus going. Okay. Okay, so here's the Ithaka. Okay, so let me take it apart. This is my latest one that I just received, which, there we go. O-ring wanted to dance with me today, I guess. Okay, well, you know what? Let me take it out, and I'll put some Vaseline on that in a bit. Okay, so let's continue. So, one thing's for certain, I kind of like removing these three parts together That way I put a little bit less strain, but sometimes I can't help it. I do notice that this one didn't come, there's no O-rings in here. You can also add O-rings in your window if you like. I did on my others, but it's not necessary. But I kind of like doing that, force of habit. So, just taking it apart. Ooh, this one's stuck. Alright, so let me get a paper towel. So I can get some leverage. I don't have to thread my... Wow. Well, geez, this thing is really suction in, huh? Alright, you know what? Let me run it through some hot water to get this piece out. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I managed to get that piece off. And taking off the bottom. Ring assembly. Okay. So here it is. Okay. Here it is. See if I can focus that. Okay, so this is a nut that's in here that you can take a flat screwdriver. Let me use a big one. And by holding this right here, the torque, you can unfasten it. You turn it counterclockwise. See? Comes out. Turn it upside down. And there's the big nut. Okay? This is the nut that was in there. Okay? So put that on the side. You never know when you're going to need it again. And this is what's left. Okay? That's what's left. So what we're going to do is you take the nut, the new nut, okay? Flat portion down. Let's see if you can see that. You see that? This part has to go facing down, straight down. And that's exactly how I'm going to put it. Okay, when it goes like that, that's okay. Take a flat screwdriver and just tap it. There we go. See, so it looks like that. Okay? Make sure it's in the center. And in the center, what you do is you start bringing this up very slowly and turning it. Okay? So as I'm holding it here, very gently I'm screwing it in, as you can see. See? It's screwing. Okay? And voila, now it's tight. See that? Now it's tight. Now, what you do is take a pair of pliers and around the torque, alright? Not the plastic torque, okay? But the metal torque, okay? We're going to tighten it. See that? Tighten it. That's it. Can't go no more. So as you can see, it is on. It's on. Okay. And let me just give it another snug just to make sure. Yep, it's on. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. This is the previous nut. There's the new nut. Okay. Okay, so that's set. Now this is ready. Okay. Now I know some of you had asked if I would do another Ithaka build. Okay, so take this as another Ithaka build of dual coils. Okay. There's a few ways of doing dual coils. Okay. There's not the ones that I show you is because it's the ones that I enjoy the most. There are other ways of doing dual coils. Emil has showed you another way of doing dual coils, which is pretty cool. I'm going to show you the simplest way. This is the simplest way. You see this? Okay. You can buy this at Vassilis, the Greek seller, Info Smoke Guru. I'll put in the link, as well as COV. Okay, these are pre-made wires that Emil has provided for his atomizers. Okay, if you don't know how to make your own coil, because I do get a lot of emails and PMs asking me, why am I not getting vapor? Why isn't this working correctly? And the majority of the time is because they didn't make the coil correctly. So save yourself some trouble. Buy yourself like 100 of these. Believe me, you're going to use it. Okay? And do the following. They have them in different ohmages. These are 1.2s. So I'm going to do a dual coil just using this. Okay? No quads, no triples, just duals. Simple duals. Okay? This is what I would do. First things first. Stretch it out a little. Okay? The non-resistance wire is on the side. Okay? You see that little nut there? Okay? That's the joining point, and then this is the resistance wire. And then the non-resistance wire continues. Okay, what I do is, you can use a lighter, or in my case, being that I have a torch already. So I'm going to use a torch. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to lightly cook the resistance wire and the joining points. Okay, that's all what I'm doing. Okay, the reason why I'm doing that is because this goes through a machine, and it's a little bit oily. So I like to oxidize that crap off my coil. That's all. That's the only reason I did that. Okay. Now this is 3M silica wick. 3M silica wick. Okay. You can get this from Vassilis. Okay, as well as Clouds of Vapor from Bruce. Okay, and I like to cut about, I would say about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches, just 2 pieces. Okay, this is a simple way. Again, there are a few ways. This is a simple way of doing it. Okay, so with the pre-made, these are 1.2 ohms each, so they will ohm out about 0.6, 0.64 or so. So what I do is, I rather put my thumb around the junction point of the 2 wires, okay, and then I wrap. Now, when I wrap gently, all right? I'm not looking to squeeze very hard, no. Just gently, and make sure that the wires are close together. Okay? That's all. Now I'm doing it in a little bit of slow-mo here. Hopefully you can get it, how I'm doing this. Okay? Now, if you do it too tight, you may end up snapping the wire off, choking the wick, and so forth. But that's how it looks. Here, I'll show you. See that? Okay, that's it. First one. Here comes the second one. Now this is more fundamentals 101 on wrapping a coil, okay, for your Ithaka. Now I do have other videos for advanced builds. Keyword, advanced builds. This, what I'm showing you now, will work. Will get you pumping. Will get you using Ithaka on a easier, less stressful environment. Okay, so there's my two coils. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mount them. Okay, the way I mount them is, pay attention. Yep, please do. This is how I'm going to mount them. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. And if you think you know the answer to this, if it's going to go side by side, you're wrong. Okay? This is how it goes. You see that? This is exactly how it goes. That's the first coil. Okay? Second coil will be just like an X. Now, everybody, and I mean everybody that has a problem, that don't know how to make dual coils correctly, follow this, what I'm showing you. Okay? You do this, guess what? You will start getting your vaping badges going. That's for sure. You're going to get a lot of vaping badges. Okay? You're getting there. That's it. Look at that. Wasn't that simple? You're done. Look at that. You're done. Forget about it. So now you take the negative, do the usual, has to go between this plastic torque, tying it up. I like to give it an extra squeeze. Take a pair of nail clippers, cut the excess wires. Turn it around. Place the wire on the torque. Use the torque for your advantage to turn it 360. Cut the two excess non-resistance wires. So it looks like that. Okay. Now bring down the two pieces of wick. You can use the automatic feeder. Okay, these slots, I like to use them, so I face them directly to the channels. Okay, take the base, let's start screwing it in, and before I finish tightening this part has to be extremely tight into here. Okay, but before I do that, I like to measure more or less where I'm at so I can see if I have enough room and if this is loose, which it is, so I can still tighten it down a little. So I can still tighten it down. There we go. Now it's snug tight. Okay, so this part is snugged. Now what I like doing is we're going to test it out. And we want to see if all the coils are going to light, which they do. Okay? They do. Now, what we need to check is the ohms. Which, as you can see, it's 0.6. Okay, like I said, each coil was 1.2. Forget about it. And this is going to give you some nice vape. Woohoo! Forget about it. So, once this is on, you know what you need to do, right? You got to prime up that wick. You heard me. I said prime the wick. Okay, you got to prime the wick. Okay? So, what I'm going to use, Curious George. And what I want to do is just gently add some juice to the wick. Just like that. Okay? And then what I do is I fire it. I let it go. Fire for like 2 seconds, let it go. Fire for 2 seconds, let it go. I'm priming the wick. I want to make sure that the wick can handle and it's saturating well. Okay? Then I'm saturating well. Okay? So, once that's done, what I'll do is I'll add the mouthpiece. And I like to add this as one piece. The bottom tank with the clear window. Okay. Now I take the juice. There we go. And the upper tank. And I'm going to get some Vaseline because, as you remembered before, this O-ring was giving some resistance. So I'm just oil and greasing up the O-ring, and I'm putting it back in. There we go. So it's back in. Okay. Now, alright folks, so now you just finished seeing how to assemble how to remove the previous nut and how to assemble and put in the new nut. As simple as it was. So as you can see, I have it on my brand new Stealth. Okay, it's on my Stealth. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Very beautiful. And let's take a vape. Whew. Delicious. This thing is working beautifully. Now, kind of like it with a little bit more juice control open. And it works beautifully on my Stealth. Look at that. I can pretty much cover the whole Ithaka atomizer on it. Forget about it. Really, really nice. Really, really, really nice. That's for sure. So hopefully that was an easy lesson on how to exchange, okay, the previous nut that's on Ithaka to the new nut, and also a quick way of doing dual coils, the right way, a proper way, an easy way, less headaches, okay, less headaches. Emil's coils work just as good as my own coils. When you're a little bit more past from being a novice and you have a multimeter, you're able to measure your ohms, then it's a different story, okay? Then you can start working on the certain builds that I do on the videos. But this is an easy way to get you started. That's all it is, just to get you started, okay? So with that, I'm going to let you go. Man, thank you, Emil, for that nice little fix. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure my viewers are happy and pleased. Now they can bother Vassilis and Bruce to get their nuts. Forget about it. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Live hard, baby, and vape hard.